G'day guys, Boy Grasser here. Welcome back to the garage. Now, today we're swapping the spanners for the steering wheel because we're talking about something that gets the heart thumping more than a dodgy alternator, the Q-Safe practical driving test. It's a massive deal, I get it. It's your ticket to freedom, a rite of passage, the official end of begging your parents for a lift. But more than that, it's about proving you're a safe, competent and considerate driver. Because once you've got that license, you're not just responsible for yourself, you're sharing the road with everyone else, and that's a pretty big responsibility. You wouldn't want me on the road if I didn't know what I was doing, would you? Actually, don't answer that. The whole point of the test isn't to trick you or catch you out. It's a checkpoint to make sure you've got the skills to handle yourself out there. And look, it's completely normal to feel a bit nervous. My palms were sweating so much on my test day, I reckon I could have filled up the windscreen washer fluid reservoir. But that's why we're here today. We're going to go through some absolute golden nuggets of advice, some top-tier tips that are going to get you so prepared, so confident, that you'll walk into that test centre feeling less like a nervous learner and more like a seasoned professional who just happens to be getting their licence that day. So, grab a notepad or just open up the Notes app on your phone, because this isn't just about passing a test. This is about building a foundation of good habits that will keep you safe on the road for years to come. We're going to break it down, step by step, from the weeks leading up to the big day, right through to the moment you hand the keys back to the examiner. Think of me as your co-pilot, your driving guru, your slightly less stressed out parent in the passenger seat. Let's get this done and get you on the road to freedom. Right, first things first, and this is the big one, the absolute non-negotiable: practice. I know, filling up that logbook can feel like a bit of a marathon, especially when you're trying to hit that 100-hour mark. It can feel like you've driven to the moon and back. But every single one of those hours is banking experience in your driving brain. Think of it like this. You wouldn't try to bake a perfect cake without ever having picked up a whisk, would you? Driving is the same. You need to get out there with a licensed driver, your mum, your dad, your very patient older sibling, and just drive. Drive to the shops, drive to school, drive on a quiet Sunday morning, drive when it's raining. The more varied the situations, the better. Each time you get behind the wheel, you're building muscle memory. You're learning how the car feels, how it responds, how much space you need. You're seeing how other drivers behave, which, let's be honest, can be an education in itself. You start to anticipate things. You learn to read the road ahead, not just what's 2 meters in front of your bonnet. This isn't just about ticking a box for the logbook. It's about making driving second nature. So when the examiner is sitting next to you, you're not panicking about how to indicate and turn at the same time. Your body just knows what to do, leaving your brain free to focus on the important stuff, like not mounting the curb. Now, driving with your parents is brilliant for getting those hours up, but let's be honest, it can sometimes get a bit tense. Your dad might be a great driver, but he might also have picked up a few, let's call them creative driving habits over the last 30 years. That's where professional driving lessons come in. These instructors are the real deal. They live and breathe the Q-Safe test criteria. They know exactly what the examiners are looking for, and more importantly, what they're looking out for. They're like having the answers to the test before you even walk in. They'll teach you the proper textbook techniques. A good instructor will spot your little bad habits before they become big problems. Things you might not even realize you're doing, like letting the steering wheel slide through your hands or not checking your mirrors often enough. They'll drill you on the maneuvers, refine your observation skills, and turn you into a smooth, safe and confident operator. Think of it as an investment. A few lessons with a professional can be the difference between a pass and a fail, and it saves a lot of arguments in the family car. Plus, they have the car with the extra brake pedal, which your parents will probably be very jealous of. All right, this might sound like the boring part, but it is fundamentally important. You could be the smoothest driver in the world, parallel parking like a Hollywood stunt driver, but if you don't know the road rules, you're going to fail. Simple as that. The practical test isn't just about car control, it's a test of your knowledge in action. You need to know your stuff inside and out. We're talking speed limits, and not just the number on the sign, but knowing when to adjust for conditions. We're talking traffic signals. What does a yellow arrow really mean? Hint, it doesn't mean speed up. It's about understanding give-way rules at intersections, roundabouts, and when merging. These are the things that will come up constantly during your test. The examiner isn't going to quiz you like a written test, but they will put you in situations where you have to apply that knowledge instantly. So, get your hands on the Queensland Road Rules book or jump online, read it, learn it, and then when you're practicing, actively think about the rules. Say them out loud if you have to. Okay, that's a stop sign. I must come to a complete stop behind the line. It might feel silly, but it drills it into your brain, making it an automatic response on test day. Imagine this. You've done the hours, you know the rules, you're feeling great. And then you fail before you even leave the car park because your brake light is out. Devastating, absolutely soul-crushing. That's why checking your vehicle before the test is a critical can't skip step. The examiner will do a basic pre-drive check of your car, and if it's not roadworthy, the test is over on the spot. So a few days before your test, give your car a proper once-over. Or better yet, get someone who knows what they're doing to help you. Check all your lights, headlights, high beams, brake lights, and especially your indicators. Make sure your horn works. Give it a little toot. Check your tires have enough tread and are properly inflated. Make sure your windscreen is clean and there are no massive cracks in the driver's line of sight. Your car needs to be registered, insured, and generally in a good, safe condition. It shows the examiner that you're a responsible vehicle operator before you've even turned the key. It's one less thing to worry about on the day, and it's an easy win. Don't let a $5 globe cost you your license. The day of the test has arrived. The butterflies are doing the Macarena in your stomach. How you manage this morning can make a huge difference to your performance. First up, and I can't stress this enough, get a good night's sleep. Don't stay up all night cramming road rules or playing video games to relax. Your brain needs to be sharp, rested, and ready to focus. Being tired makes you slow, irritable, and prone to silly mistakes. So, log off, switch off, and get some quality shut-eye. Then, on the morning of the test, have a proper breakfast. Don't just grab a can of energy drink and hope for the best. Your brain needs fuel to function, so have some toast, some cereal, something that will give you sustained energy, not a sugar crash halfway through your reverse park. And finally, the logistics. Don't be that person sprinting through the door with 2 seconds to spare, flustered and stressed. Plan your route to the test centre. Aim to get there at least 20 minutes early. This gives you time to park, use the bathroom, check your paperwork, and just sit in the car for a few minutes, take some deep breaths, and get into the zone. A calm start leads to a calm drive. Okay, you're in the car. The examiner is next to you, clipboard in hand. This is the moment. Your heart is probably hammering against your ribs. The single most important thing you can do right now is breathe. Just take a slow, deep breath. The examiner is just a person doing their job. They're not a monster out to get you. They actually want you to pass as long as you drive safely. So try to block out the fact that it's a test. Pretend you're just taking your calmest, most knowledgeable uncle for a drive around the block. Focus on the task at hand, which is simply to drive safely from A to B. Don't rush. If you feel yourself getting flustered, or if you make a small mistake like stalling the car, don't panic. It's not an automatic fail. Just take a second, breathe, restart the car, do your checks, and carry on. The examiner is looking at how you handle pressure just as much as how you handle the car. A moment of panic can lead to a cascade of bigger mistakes. A moment of calm recovery shows them that you are a mature, capable driver who can handle real-world situations. So, keep your breathing steady, your hands relaxed on the wheel, and just focus on the road ahead. You've got this. During the test, the examiner is going to be your own personal GPS, but with, just a bit more judgment. They'll give you a series of instructions, things like, at the next street, turn left, or when it is safe, change lanes to the right. Maybe even take the second exit at the roundabout. Now, your job here is to listen very, very carefully to these instructions. Don't just hear the words, really process them. This might sound pretty simple, but when you're feeling nervous, it's so easy to mishear something or to start worrying about the instruction before you've even properly understood it. If you're ever unsure about what they said, do not guess. I repeat, do not guess. It's perfectly okay to ask for clarification. You can say something like, "Sorry, could you please repeat that?" Or "Did you mean the street coming up or the next one?" That's absolutely fine. They would much rather you ask for clarification than suddenly swerve across 2 lanes of traffic because you panicked. Asking for clarification actually shows that you are a safe and conscientious driver. It shows you're thinking and planning, not just reacting. So listen closely, process the instruction, and if there's any doubt in your mind, just ask. Let's talk about something that can really make or break your test, the mighty shoulder check, or as it's more dramatically known, the lifesaver check. And for good reason. Your mirrors are fantastic, sure, and they give you a great view of what's behind you, but they don't show you everything. There's a big old patch on either side of your car called a blind spot, and it's just the right size for a motorcycle, a cyclist, or even another car to hide in. Now, modern cars might have fancy lights that flash when something's there, and that's great, but you just cannot rely on them during your test. The examiner needs to see you physically check. Every single time you're about to move the car sideways, every lane change, every time you merge, every time you pull out from the curb, and even before turning from the main road, you must perform a physical head check over your shoulder. It needs to be an obvious movement. Don't just flick your eyes, turn your head. It might feel a bit like an owl impersonation, but it shows the examiner that you are aware of your surroundings and that you're actively looking for hazards. Forgetting to do this even once can be a critical error. Make it a non-negotiable habit. Mirror, signal, head check every single time. Okay, let's get serious for a minute. It helps to know what the big instant fail items are so you can be extra vigilant about them. Think of these as the red flags for the examiner. The most common one is speeding. Even a few kilometers over the limit for even a few seconds can be enough for a fail. You have to be constantly aware of the speed limit and your speedometer. Another classic is failing to stop completely at a stop sign. A rolling California stop won't cut it. Your wheels must cease to rotate completely behind the line. Other major no-nos include failing to give way correctly, following too closely to the car in front, or doing something that causes another driver to have to brake suddenly or swerve. And a big one we've already covered, making ineffective observations. That means not checking your mirrors enough, and especially not doing those head checks. These aren't minor slip-ups, they are classified as critical driving errors because they are dangerous. Being aware of these common pitfalls means you can put extra focus on them during your practice sessions and on the day of the test. Don't give them an easy reason to fail you. During your test, you'll be asked to perform a few specific maneuvers. These usually include things like a reverse park, a 3-point turn, or maybe reversing for 25 meters in a straight line. The key here, again, is practice. Don't just try a reverse park once or twice. Go to an empty car park and do it 20 times. Do it until it's boring. The trick with these is to go slow, S-L-O-W, and to keep observing. Don't get so focused on the maneuver that you forget to check for pedestrians, cars, or road shopping trolleys. Constant observation is just as important as the car's position. Now, a quick word on modern cars. Many of you will be testing in a car with all sorts of bells and whistles, advanced driver assist systems, or ADAS. We're talking reversing cameras, parking sensors, adaptive cruise control. These are fantastic safety features for everyday driving, but for the test, you need to show you can drive without them. You can use your reversing camera as an aid, a quick glance, but you must be physically looking around, checking your mirrors and blind spots as your primary source of information. The examiner needs to know that if the tech fails, the driver behind the wheel is still competent. So prove you're the master of the car, not the other way around. And there you have it. That's the game plan. We've covered the practice, the rules, the car, and the mindset. At the end of the day, passing your Q-Safe test really boils down to 2 things: solid preparation and a calm, focused mindset. You've put in the hours, you've learned from the pros, and you know what to look out for. All the hard work is already done. The test itself is just your opportunity to showcase those skills. It's your victory lap. So trust in your preparation, trust in your ability, and walk into that test center knowing you've done everything you can to succeed. Remember to breathe. If you make a small mistake, don't let it derail your whole drive. Acknowledge it, recover safely, and move on. The examiner is looking for a safe and competent driver, not a perfect, flawless robot. They know you're human and they know you're nervous. Just show them that even under pressure, you can make safe decisions. Getting your license is one of the best feelings in the world. It's the start of so many adventures, road trips, and just the simple freedom of being able to go where you want, when you want. So, from me here at Boygrasser Garage, I want to wish you the absolute best of luck. Not just for the test, but for your entire driving journey ahead. Be safe, be smart, be considerate of others on the road, and enjoy the freedom you've earned. You've put in the work, and you absolutely deserve this. Now go out there and ace it. I'll see you on the road.